Pain heals. Chicks dig scars. Glory lasts forever.
Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Appreciate you so much. We're over 12.7 now. We're creeping to that 13,000 number and a t-shirt giveaway. If you want, check out the Y'all Not Like Us. They're brand new. Check them out. But let's get going. Thank you for being here. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Shout out 19. Here we go. Courtney. Now this is bad, folks. This is in response to the Fever Sun game and what went on with Caitlin Clark. And we've got some players here for you that want to talk about that. Courtney and Natasha. It is Natasha, right? Isn't her name Natasha or is it Natisha? Apologies if I get it wrong. I'm terrible with names, but they have some thoughts. And then I have some thoughts on their thoughts, and I'm sure you will as well, because this is actually kind of wild to hear. And look, Courtney is no Caitlin Clark fan, but yeah, anyway, let's dig in and then we'll talk about it.
Look, they showing them. Look at me. Hey! Hey, we would have been crashing that team.
Courtney, if somebody ever tackles you like that,
nobody would ever tackle me like that. They would play with Bridget like that, and then we would have to like take it up there.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
But I'm just saying.
Nobody would ever play with me like
if that ever happened, you better crash out behind me, because I'm crashing out behind you. We can share the same jail cell. Yeah, bro.
Oh my gosh, bro. Our team would crash, bro, because they would play with somebody that's like not even like it would be like they would do that to like Bridget or like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's like, bro, stop fucking playing with Bridget like that before we run down on some shit.
Yeah, fags. Walk them down. Walk them down.
Damn, yo, Indiana Fever, they just this is embarrassing, folks. They are completely 100% mocking the Indiana Fever response to all the bullying, all the beating up that happens to Caitlin Clark. And they are laughing at you, Fever, because you do not respond. You do not back her up. You do not support her. A little bit. We're seeing a little bit. Let's be fair. Sophie Cunningham later, and we know she was trying to run onto the court when this did happen. Lexi Hull got in front of JC Sheldon there as well. But man, I mean, this is the stuff that prevents teams from winning championships. You need to be a team, and I talked about this in another video, so I won't rehash the whole thing. But in terms of you've got to put everything else aside that might be different outside of that locker room, and you have got to support your players. You can't be Natasha Howard lovingly copying a feel, on Marina Mabrey right after she blindsides Caitlin Clark in a very, very dirty play. They did upgrade it to a flagrant 2 after the fact, but that doesn't do anything because she should have been tossed out then, and there's no additional penalty. She's not being suspended, so I don't even know what the point is, other than the league might grab another $50 out of Marina Mabrey's pocket. But this, if I'm Stephanie White, I'm showing this to my team. And look, it doesn't have to be done publicly, but I'm calling my team out in the locker room. I'm showing this to my team, and I'm saying, what do y'all think about this? Courtney is mocking you. She's laughing at you, saying you're all soft. You don't have the guts to defend Caitlin Clark because of the heat that she gets from the rest of the league. You don't want to be called certain things if you defend Caitlin Clark, so you don't do it. But she is your teammate. She's the reason you're eating. She's the reason you're in games. She's the reason you're getting endorsement opportunities. She's the reason you're playing in front of 15,000, 20,000 fans every night. She's the reason you're playing in front of millions of fans on TV every time you step on the court. Your lives have changed completely because of Caitlin Clark. Natasha Howard, what was this for? What was this reaction? Why are you lovingly putting your hand around Marina Mabrey's waist when she just blindsided your meal ticket? Explain. And yeah, I would do that in front of the team because enough is enough. You've got other players in the league completely mocking you, calling you out This is how soft the Indiana Fever have been. This is what the league thinks of the Indiana Fever. So do you think it's going to stop? It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop until someone pays a consequence. It's not going. Look, Sophie was that was good. There's no doubt, and maybe that changes things around. But it can't be always Sophie. They know it's not going to be anybody else. Dejanay Carrington is licking her chops for that Dallas Wings Indiana Fever game. She's seeing all this and she says, "Well, look, Marina Mabrey didn't even get thrown out." So I mean, there's like no punishment for doing this, and the Indiana Fever aren't punishing anybody because that's it. Marina Mabrey wasn't punished. Yeah, Jace Sheldon, Sophie Cunningham got her, and to be fair, as much as I prayed Sophie, I don't know that that happens if Jace doesn't make the dirty play with the offensive foul once she changes direction and lowers her shoulder into Sophie Cunningham's sternum. Right, I think that had a lot to do with it, and you get. Obviously, the officiating has to change in how they handle everything, but so does the Fever and how they handle everything, right? It's gotta be both. The officiating has to change because you get too much of this stuff, right? This is earlier in the game. There's another swat to the head by JC Sheldon. She is a dirty, dirty player. And no, now there, look, folks, there's the referee right there. Literally, that's the best view you could possibly have of that play. Bam, right into the face. Right, here's a close up. Like, let's check this out. Right, that's JC Sheldon. That's not. I have my hand out. Right, that's not like you have the hand on the hip, slowing a player down strategically. She is that is grabbing a handful of skin and muscle as Caitlin Clark tries to drive by her. Right, there it is again. And when you're playing on a team against a team where there are no consequences from the officials and there are no consequences from Caitlin Clark's teammates, what do you think happens? Yeah, exactly. It keeps happening. It does not stop until the Indiana Fever. Now, look, obviously the league has to put a foot down too, without a doubt, because like that stuff. I mean, obviously you can't be out getting. And I don't want them get. Please don't misunderstand. This is not MMA. I don't want them all getting in fights all the time, but you also have to, when you get stuff like what Mabrey did and stuff like what JC Sheldon did, you have to protect your teammates. You have to take it into your own hands at least a couple of times, probably, if the officials aren't going to. Now, something like this, you're not taking that into your own hands. Okay, I'm not saying you're going after JC Sheldon and getting knocked out of the game for that. That's the type of stuff that has to come from the officials. But a lot of that goes on because the Indiana Fever aren't doing anything about the big stuff. So they know for sure they're not going to do anything about this. So we've got the officiating has to change, WNBA, as well as the Fever have got to step up a few more times probably and say, hey, we're not going to allow this. We're not going to allow this to happen to our superstar, to your bread and butter, by the way. And I just want to leave you with one wild thing that's kind of funny. They always limit replies, these wackos. Someone sent me this. I have no idea who this is. No idea who this is. Um, you, but JC didn't deserve anything that happened last night, and I hope she's okay emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. It hurts my heart that this is a real human being. I was going to say functioning human being, but I don't think they're functioning. So you had JC Sheldon being dirty all game, and the consequence she suffered was a hard foul by Sophie Cunningham that was really instigated by JC Sheldon, who got away with an offensive foul. And someone actually posted this online for the world to see. JC didn't deserve anything that happened last night. I hope she's okay emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. Wow. Okay. Yeah, man, I'm going to leave it there. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, appreciate you so much. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. Go have the day you deserve, and I will talk to you later.